Hello, how are you?
Really good, man.
Really, really good.
Oh yeah.
I'm drinking a beer called Lime Snaps from the brewery I work at.
I'm drinking sake straight out of the bottle.
That is disgusting on multiple levels.
Last ride, guys. Might get a bit silly by the end of this one.
Last ride, dude. You gotta have a beer
Is it
with you for
officially
this
the last one? Because Rhino seemed surprised when I said that.
I think this, at least for me, will be the last one for a while. A long while. You guys are welcome to replace me with another podcaster individual.
You're like Beyonce.
That sounds like crap. Well, Chev, I don't know if anyone will stay on the team now that you've left. Or I don't know, it might be hard sell to keep Blunted. He might feel kind of out of place, I'm not sure.
You think so? I don't think so.
Maybe not. I mean, I already told him, I'm like, dude, we want you to come back.
I'm sure he would. Although he's like the
Maybe.
star of the...
I know, he's like a fucking hot commodity.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, we got the ultimate best outcome out of teaming with him, so can't be mad if he goes on to do something else.
He's under contract.
But
man.
If he left to be like with Heart Run or something, I'd probably honestly take some offense to that.
I think it'd be kind of funny because he'd probably not make playoffs again.
It'd probably not be good.
And he'd have to be in champ with Heart Run, right?
Yeah. Well, Heart Run actually looked pretty good.
I mean, he'd have to be in champ regardless because he's like Divine 5.
Heart Run played that lower bracket.
He did play those games really well.
Yeah, he looked really good in those games. So.
But the thing is, whoever else is on the teams can just be a fucking complete griefer.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. If he left to play with like Cafe or Hard Run, I'd be pretty tilted, but that's his life.
I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny if he played Conqueror with Heart Run and he got down to Divine 3. He could do it, I believe.
I don't know if he can make it there without like fully tilting. Also, it's way sooner than you think, like to be ready.
Dude, fully tilting? You have
to have your team ready in like a week.
Yeah,
a week and a couple days.
Have you not seen Blunted in pubs, dude? He tilts worse than I do.
I know, but even so, he still hasn't really lost that much MMR from the start of season.
That's true. His skill is.
And he'd have to do it on his main account.
No, he has to do it on both accounts actually. So there's probably no way it's happening.
Yeah, I can't lie. I'll just say Rhino since it was the most like very recent. But them missing playoffs is like was such an abomination.
It's the only thing that makes me feel better about getting 8th place with Blended on my team.
Well, at least with you could say it's like a while ago.
Wait, what's the only
he's
thing
probably
that makes
gotten
you feel
better
better
since then.
Rhino
doing even worse.
Blended at all, yeah.
Oh.
Rhino doing even worse.
I mean, we lost to Helmets On, and they were really good that season. And we took them. That was the season you guys won on Animale Stick Golf. I think, like, if you look at everyone playing against Helmets On, we looked at, like, the best team, even though we got 8th place, for sure. So it was just a tough draw. Happens sometimes.
Yeah. I think also, like, the whole... I don't know. Blunted is obviously an insane player. And everyone's going to see how he played on that puck game. And, like, when you see Blunted, triple kill, whatever. And he is, like, insane. Like, but I think that there's a lot to be said about the way he plays in a comp team. And I think that he's not really the big decision maker. So a lot of, and I mean, you know this as well as anyone else, that a lot of the times it comes down to like team decisions. A game can come down to just like complete team decisions, not just overall skill. So when his teammates are not making decisions and he's just kind of like in the void of things, sometimes you just lose a game, even though your KDA looks good, you know? If that makes any sense. Like, I feel like that's a lot of what happened on our team is like, we made a lot of play calls and Blunted would just like My mentality was always like, let's make calls and let Blunted show up to the calls if he wants to and if it's good for his game. But like, let Blunted do his own thing, but the rest of us can play super proactive and coordinated so that Blunted can just like be the star of the show. Because he's going to be. So it's just, you have to like play around it.
I don't know if other people can, or everyone on our team's pretty calm and like good attitudes. He kind of is like the most tilt prone of everyone.
Yeah.
So I do think we're like a good, like if he was with someone else who tilts, I could see how that would possibly go badly.
Oh yeah, we almost like completely lost in game 3 because he was like, guys, I don't know, I'm just tilted. I'm like, I just thought we were going, like no one's here, I can't do anything, I can't move. I thought we were going in, we're not doing anything.
He
He's
got
like, it's
stuck
over,
in
we're gonna
snakes
lose.
for
We're just
30
gonna lose."
seconds. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, did I grief this whole BKB with Shadow Shaman snakes?
I don't think that was his fault. I think he got stuck because he life breaks somebody.
Yeah, he life braked into somebody and got stuck in the snakes during BKB. It was really unlucky. But Jackson Bernie were just like not anywhere near there, man.
Yeah, they wandered. They did a wander off.
All right, I'm going to get my food. I'll be back in a few minutes. We should probably
Okay.
start.
Okay, yeah, we can start with that right now, I guess.
Yeah, who
Just give me like 5
who
minutes.
the fuck knows?
Who wants to do the intro? You can do the intro, Rusty.
You want me to do an intro?
Yeah, like,
What kind of intro?
I don't know. What's up, guys? Whatever you want
What's
to say.
up, guys? Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll do.
Perfect. Maybe this
I'll
could
do
be the
something,
intro.
man. I'll do something.
I'll just put this on there as the intro. Only if your intro sucks.
My intro will be great. By the way, man, I'm trying to get our money, so you need to send me your Venmo so I can give you money.
Oh, you can keep it. You can keep it.
Yeah, if
I don't want
you
to
did all
keep
the-
it. I want to give it to you.
Nah,
If you did all the
buy
organizing,
me
you
a
get to
beer.
keep it.
$10.
You owe me 1 beer.
That's the cost
the
of
hell?
working. Of
Actually, you owe
being
me
the
half
leader
a
of the
beer in
team,
New York
Rusty.
City.
Keep it.
In New York City.
Half a beer in New York City.
Legit, man.
Yeah.
God, I went broke getting fucked up in Brooklyn a
That's
few
true.
months ago.
All right.
I was like, I'll be generous and pay the bar tab, and it's like $300. I'm like, I'm like, I'll be nice to my broke friends and pay the bar tab $300 later.
Unlucky. All right, let's get
No, I
started.
was pretty hammered, so I didn't mind.
Fuck Rhino. Let's kick it off.
Yeah.
Someone needs to kick it off though. Someone else. It's not me. I'm not intro ready right now. But I figure we
Okay, I'll
just
do it.
freestyle it. Freestyle.
I'll do an intro. Are you ready?
Oh, I gotta get my beer. All right.
Okay. What is
Are
the
you
beer
ready?
of the night, IPA?
I literally gotta grab it out of the fridge.
Should I do the intro now?
Mm-mm. Please wait.
Okay.
Wait, I kind of need another beer too.
Yeah. Guys, we could discuss the Savage Esports last ride post-mortem. It's really long.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, should I do like an intro?
Sure, man.
Yeah, Rusty.
All right,
Rusty, if
everybody.
you didn't hear, channel your rally speech for Mine for the Game.
Oh my
that's
god.
true, we
I
gotta
don't know
talk
if I
about
have
Raleigh.
I don't know if I have I don't know if I have that in me. All right, well, let's do this, guys. All right, everybody. In the spirit of recent 82L lore being written before our very eyes, it is time for Mind for the Game, a Dota 2 podcast, to do a bit of a swan song here, a bit of a last ride, if you will. A fun little last spin around the block, as the way things are looking right now, with real life obligations, inability to get Rhino to join a Discord call or even respond to a single ping on Discord. Mind for the Game is going to be entering a hiatus for at least a while. Perhaps this will be the last episode ever recorded of this hollowed show. Some haters out there, some detractors might have said, wake me up if you make it past 3 episodes. I don't know how many we made, but I do know I showed up here more than 3 times. How many episodes have we made?
I don't know. I'm trying to check that right now.
Well, fuck you haters. I know we made it at least up to double digits. I think we had a lot of fun conversations, a lot of great times. But for now, we're going to have to do a bit of a post-mortem of sorts for the podcast as we lay it to rest, at least perhaps temporarily, as we all move on and take care of some things in our real life. For Mind for the Game, last time doing the intro here, at least for now, Rusty Shackleford, your boy, newly crowned king of champ, captain of La Familia de Golf, proud father of 4. We're out here, guys. First episode we've done in quite a while, and of course Rhino literally can't even be bothered to show up. But we'll see if he joins later. We got Chev and IPA here. Let's start with you, IPA. How are you this evening? What's been going on with you the past month or however long it's been since we recorded?
Yeah, very excited to be back with my boys, and hopefully Rhino later. But that's how it goes sometimes. I was really surprised it took us this long to get back together because I've always enjoyed this pod and just talking and shooting the shit with you guys. But I did not attend the Raleigh Major. Did watch some of that Dota, and it was pretty heavily invested in Conqueror season. Of course, you guys were in Champ. I was holding it down in Conqueror still. And we dropped, I think, probably about a month ago, right as playoffs started, we dropped our upper bracket match and went straight to lower bracket in a season where we were the best team in the regular season. So we kind of had to recalibrate, and it made it all the way to lower bracket finals. I hope we'll talk a little bit more about our seasons, but just super happy to be here with you guys and talk a little bit of Dota.
What's the beer of the night?
Absolutely.
It's one we did in a previous episode actually. As weather is starting to break here a little bit, we busted out the Hefeweizen, the Jossbrau. So nice little light beer to go with my taco and taco bowl tonight.
Hell yeah, dude! You got Cinco de Mayo leftovers?
No leftovers. Went to a local joint last night, famous for their al pastor tacos. When you go in, all the TVs are on Fox Deportes or ESPN Deportes. Nothing is in English. That's how you know it's. That's how you know it's good
awesome.
shit.
That rocks.
That's so
that
awesome.
rocks.
Hell yeah, man!
Big ups. We got Chev here.
Hello,
my compadre, my son. I'm so proud of you, son. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'll blow my cover. We're the reason that the podcast needs to come to an end after 14. I just checked 14 wonderful episodes.
So is this the 15th or the 14th?
This will be 15th.
Oh, that's a nice round number.
Yeah, we got to a nice number. I've got some stuff going on with the IRL family after leaving my Dota family and getting married in September, so it's time to focus on some IRL things after dedicating way too much time to Dota 2, whether that's 82L content, too much time in some garbage Discord chains or gaming in general. So I'm gonna be taking a nice
garbage
step back.
What?
Discord threads, man. Conqueror chat. You know how much time I wasted in Conqueror chat? Too much.
Is it really a waste if you're shitposting with friends?
No. No.
I would say those are some of the best memories.
Absolutely, the shitposts. I'll remember them fondly on my deathbed.
Conquer chat welcomes you back at any time, Chev.
Angry gamers taking things way too seriously, Sometimes it happens. What can you do? Don't crash out, guys.
Sometimes I wish I had stats for how much time spent in each channel reading, scrolling, typing.
Scrolling?
Yeah.
I'm gonna out myself as a bit of a freak. I used to really read pretty much everything. Even if there was a 500 comment argument while I was asleep, I would go back and read it the next day, but I just can't do that anymore.
Dude,
I honestly read less than I do.
Kudos to you for admitting it. I would never do that shit though.
Recently, after the Conqueror finals, I saw there was some anger. Honestly, anger directed at some pretty lame behavior, so I won't I'm not gonna fault anyone for that. I kind of agree that it's some pretty
What was
lame
the
stuff
lame
that was
behavior?
happening.
Or I guess IPA, do you know about it? You played in
Basically,
Conquer.
I was casting, bro. I was
I
there.
think some random
Wait,
person on Dr.
I want to
Spike's
hear
team
this. I want to
was...
hear this from the source. I
Okay,
wanna hear
go
this from
ahead.
the
I'll hear
source.
from IPA. I won't pretend to, because I couldn't really watch any of the Conk finals.
Yeah, but let's be clear. It doesn't deserve that much time on the final pod.
All right, yeah, we can
Basically,
give
what
it 5
happened?
minutes minimum or max.
Yeah, what happened was end of game 3 in a 3-0. As the throne is dying, all of Savage Spirits is dead. Anek, who is the offlaner for Spike's team, Spooky Scary Skeletons, essentially said like, "GG easy." You guys suck. And I don't. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what he said.
No, he said,
like,
"Thank you for
registered
the
in my mind.
freebie. Thank you
Thank you for the freebie." Yeah,
Wait,
but it's like
this is
same
after
sentiment,
winning?
right?
This is after winning grand
It's
finals.
literally as the throne is dying in a 3-0, and they're all dead. So the game is definitely over. So they're saying, "Hey, GG, well played, congrats," and he's like, "Thanks for the freebie, suckers." So
Kind of cringe.
you know,
Kind of cringe.
I was on the cast, and I said, "Look, I think that's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Like you just had a 3-0, just like you should be proud of yourself. Like you don't." And his reason for doing it is because they were tipping and voice lining him during the game. So, which to me is part of the mental meta of Dota, and
Yeah,
it's
tipping and voice
explicitly
lining.
allowed in the league.
Tipping and voice
So
lining is so different.
yeah, my take was that is cringe. You shouldn't do that. Just be better. And then I moved on because it's not that big of a deal.
For sure. For sure.
I'll give my take on this briefly. I think all chat needs to come from one of two places. Either legitimate hatred and beef, like in our series against the two monkeys.
Which
Legitimate
was mild,
beef
by the
and
way.
like,
It was,
frustration.
Really mild. Really
Yeah, it
mild
wasn't
all
that
chat.
bad. It wasn't that bad. This guy Reed crashed out, I guess, when you're fucking rank 900 can't win against some divine shitters, it's tough on the mental. But it needs to either come from a place of legit beef and like history or friends. If you're just a literal rando who never talks in Discord, nobody knows you, and you're shit talking after winning, I think that's just super lame, personally.
Or I think it can also come from like actual humor. Like if you're saying something that's actually hilarious, like drop that shit in all
Sure.
chat. That's fun.
I mean like trash talk specifically.
Okay, yeah. Dude, my ChatGPT line in all chat, oh that shit saved my mental.
Yeah, Chevy had
for
a
sure.
really, really funny thing. That was actually awesome.
There was a courier bug in I think it was game 3 or 5. I don't really remember too much, but
Let me find this.
yeah, there was a courier bug in the all chat. Or sorry, it was a courier bug and one of the carry player on the enemy team paused. So Westlake, he paused the game and was like, I have a courier bug. I don't know what happened. I don't remember how to fix it. Let me figure it out. So I was like, let me ask ChatGPT. So like he tries some things, goes by, nothing's fixing it. And then I forget exactly what the line was. You found it?
You said ChatGPT says, number 1, check if the courier is dead. Look at the top bar next to your gold. If the courier icon is grayed out with a red X, it's dead. Wait for respawn 180 seconds.
Dude, that shit saved my mental. Which game was that?
Game 5.
Okay.
That was really funny, man.
Put us in a
Safe
good
to
mood for
say,
the rest of the game.
Chev's ChatGPT line potentially saved your championship.
Yeah, maybe.
That was at 12 minutes into the game. I think the game was going fine at 12 minutes, to be honest. It said we won our safe lane and our mid lane and drew our off lane. So I think the game was going decently. Actually, yeah, we were pretty ahead at 12 minutes. We were like 3K ahead.
I guess this is a good segue. I think we should talk about the finals of. I think we should talk about Raleigh, and I think we should talk about the finals of each league. So whatever you guys.
Yeah,
want to talk
man.
about first.
Oh, I wish Rhino was here, man, so he could defend himself. Cause I'm about to put him on blast.
Go.
Man, these kids. All right. First of all, at Raleigh, I have a few funny stories to tell because we did have a fun time. So
wait, just
Raleigh. There
I
was.
wasn't at Raleigh, but IPA.
Yeah,
were you
Chev
there
was
or
not
no?
there.
No, I said in my intro I wasn't there.
Oh
But
right.
Do you
didn't
know
feel like
anybody?
watching
Well,
it.
like anyone from your circle that was there that I missed?
No.
Bummer. adults those responsibilities.
No,
Yeah,
we would have
Um,
told you if we were there for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I met a ton of 8012 people there actually. Like when I went to Arlington Major, I met a good handful, but at this I met a ton of people. Like I think there were probably more in attendance than Arlington Major, but even easier to coordinate and meet up with people, which was great.
All right,
This was a
Rusty, you
really
don't
fun
have to
time.
lie to support your admin abuse of skipping a week. All right. Don't
No,
lay it on
man.
so thick. It's embarrassing.
To be fair, I was there partying with 2 admins. So ask yourself that. How would 82 all go on with 2 admins busy getting drunk with me? That's the real question. But a bunch of us like 82 all golf adjacent folks were there. Gambit was there, Licky the Cow was there, yes. This is facts. Rhino lives in the area, so he came and met up with us, watched a lot of the games with us, hung out with us, afterwards when we were going out, having some fun times. And there's one really funny story, Rhino specific, from the tournament itself. I was sitting next to Rhino, and we were right near the front, near the Tundra booth, when they were playing against. It might have been when they were against Paravision. I don't recall exactly who their opponent was. Maybe it was upper bracket finals against Spirit. That sounds right to me, because I think it was like the second day. And Tundra had just lost the game, and Rhino really wanted them to pick Doom for 3-3 because he's like the best Doom player. And he kept yelling at the top of his lungs, 3-3 Doom! 3-3 Doom! And this dude who is like a friend of the what do you call him? Not Dork Horse. Yeah, Dork Horse. A friend of those guys who's plays in some other leagues. I don't think they've ever played 82L, but he's like a friend of Angry Sun and Jerry Bear and some of those guys. He got really mad at Rhino because he thought he was yelling 3-2-2, like saying Tundra through the last game intentionally. And so they almost got like literally into an altercation, and they were like yelling at each other and
Dude.
arguing with each other
Dude,
because
leave it to
because he
man.
thought he thought Rhino was like heckling 3-3 or heckling Tundra
Wait,
for
so-
throwing.
So was this guy like trying to defend his favorite team? Was he like, dude, no one talks bad about Liquid? Or
I
like
think he
what?
was like,
Or, I
so
mean,
what?
Tundra.
He was like, we're heckling now. Like you're doing that. Which, to be fair, if Rhino was actually heckling them, I'd say, all right, well, you probably shouldn't be yelling and heckling the fucking players if you're sitting that close. Because we literally were like the first row right by that specific booth,
Mhm.
so we were within like 20 feet of Tundra. But yeah, it was really funny. They did get into a bit of a not a scuffle, but a verbal exchange of ideas.
Damn, dude, Rhino's got shooters
But Rhino
everywhere,
was just trying
man.
to encourage his favorite offlaner to play Doom, which he's really good at, which is funny. But
awesome.
another funny thing, so I was there, 2 other people from family were there, Bernie and Jax. Bros were there. Met Jax for the first time, which was fun. Good hanging out with him. He's a good young lad. And Bernie was on a mission. He was gonna try.
Whoa,
to do
wait. Is this the bar story?
Yeah,
Don't drop this story here. Do not drop this story here.
Why?
Do not drop this.
Which part? I don't think I'm gonna share anything crazy.
Okay.
Come on,
Okay.
Rusty, do
What do
it.
you mean?
I don't know, man.
Don't listen to
Well,
shit.
basically, Bernie was on a mission to talk to girls and like try to, make connections with members of the opposite gender. And Rhino was like, "Bro, we'll go out. We'll do it together.
No.
I got you. I know the city. We can do this." And those guys, I won't get too specific. Those guys were dragging me around to every bar in the fucking downtown that there was. They were going out. Rhino, I gotta say, has a lot of confidence talking to the ladies.
Shocker.
Game is TBD. The Riz factor is kind of TBD, I think. But
Oh no.
but he has a lot of confidence. Bernie is like really scared of girls, so he didn't have too much luck.
Bro, Bernie's gonna kill us if we put this in the pod. Come on.
These guys were running me ragged on their Zoomer journey. of talking to women, and we bar hopped around to a lot of bars. Um,
I want to clear
you
the air
know,
though. Bernie is a stud. That man
yeah,
puts
he's a
in
really
work at the
handsome guy.
gym. He is a stud.
Yeah, and he's buff. If there's any ladies out there who listen to this Dota podcast,
So
because I know there are none. Can't real name docs, but Bernie's good looking guy. You know, he's a wholesome family man.
Please
Good
drop a
looking guy,
comment.
stud in the gym.
Please drop your Instagrams in the comments, please, for Bernie.
Yeah, drop a YouTube comment with Instagram or Discord or DM me personally, and I'll help you.
He's a 2-time 82L chip winner now, so
He is if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. He is a multi-time 82L winner. That is a true fact. But yeah, it was really fun. It's like they had a lot of at bats and a lot of strikeouts. That's all I'll say. But I had a great time out with the lads. I'm trying to think who else was there. Met a lot of people, Dork Horse people, a lot of people from Champ Division. Met some guys from Two Headed Snakes, some Cheddar Bear affiliates.
Also, you said those
I
guys
met
from
I Got This.
Oh, you met
aka
I Got
Heroes of
This?
New Earth. I met I Got This, yes. That was pretty
Big
funny.
name. Didn't
Who
you,
else did we meet up with?
You met the guy from he was gonna be on that team with crap. It was like a Rhino associate, I think. We pubbed with
Rhino
them.
associate?
It was the Fire and Ice dudes.
Fire and Ice?
Yeah, and I was like, "Give me Magnus."
Oh yes, from Team Maximus.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I met the carry from Team Maximus Rampage. He was a really nice guy. Everyone I met was super chill,
Then you met like all
super
of Champ.
normal, which is surprisingly. I met a lot of champ people. I was there with Gambit, Licky the Cow, a lot of golf people. Shout out Bernie, shout out Edge Timber, shout out Key, shout out Anime Jack, shout out who else was there? I don't know, Miss Burrito, ton of people. Hung with Rhino.
Did you meet anyone from?
That was a lot of fun.
Anyone from Conqueror League? Did you meet any of the Savage people?
Who the hell is in Conqueror, man?
Savage, dude.
I didn't meet anyone from Savage. Let me look. Let me refresh my mind.
Riley? I don't know if Riley or Benny were there.
Nah, he wasn't there, I don't think. Oh,
Okay.
Jenny and Teju I met.
Right.
Teju
right.
also came out with us to the bar. That was a lot of fun. Teju, he's a party guy.
Teju Beast.
Had a fun time with him. Teju Beast, indeed.
Man, I'm so jealous I didn't get to go. I love these Dota events because they bring together a bunch of people from like age ranges of pretty much I feel like young 20s to mid to late 30s.
Some MTL people.
Very fun.
MTL Keto, I met him, or I've met him before, but I saw him again.
Did you get stun locked for like 2 hours?
No, I didn't actually, because
Nice
I met him.
dodge.
I like saw him in line, and I saw him a couple times after. I met a bunch of people from Voyager actually. Some people from Quasar Dreams, who I believe got second in Voyager. People from the Mittens, I believe it was the Mittenses. I met like their whole team, which was super neat, because those are like the OGs of 82L, like the people who've been playing the longest that are still here. I met those guys. That was awesome. Overall, great experience.
Cool.
All
right, let's get
so
to your
Rusty, tell me,
team.
like,
if you guys didn't see my speech on the stream, I gave a speech to Team Liquid.
I saw it.
I was one of the
Yeah,
I was one of the only non-socially awkward gamers there who was actually confident to talk on camera.
I was trying to let you humbly brag about this just now. I was trying to say, so Rusty, I was trying to set you up for it, but now you're just.
I gave Liquid a speech. It didn't work though. It didn't work.
Oh, they didn't win.
The speech was a fail. No, they didn't win the game after, unfortunately.
Oh,
it was
yeah, but I told you, even
against
the pros,
Paravision, I think.
Even the pros on the panel were like, "Wow, that was a rousing speech." Like,
yeah,
normally, like they're gonna make fun of the people in the crowd and say,
"I still gotta go."
I don't know if that's gonna help or not.
I gotta go back. I still haven't. I've only sent the clip like to my my family and friends got a big kick out of it.
So you haven't seen it on the actual stream?
No, I have not
it's
actually.
Great. It's great. Maybe if I'm feeling not lazy about the editing, maybe I'll throw it in here. But
Throw the clip in there if you can.
It was
Shout out to
great.
Lorenzo. I think he's the one who clipped it. And I think he made the like GIF. There's a GIF of me saying lock in, which is great. I forgot to mention hubris though. It's my number one regret.
Was Lorenzo there?
No.
All right,
Lorenzo
good.
was not there.
Honestly, I would have been so depressed if you got to meet Lorenzo and I didn't.
Oh, I'd love to meet Lorenzo.
Dude, Lorenzo's one of the people I most want to meet from 82L for sure.
Yeah, me too, definitely. I think Lorenzo was pretty. I don't know how to say this. I think I learned a lot from playing with Lorenzo because back in Warrior, when we like recruited him to our team, he was kind of like the best guy on the team and had experience playing the higher divisions.
I mean, he's kind of the best
And I do
player
think
on every team he plays on, I think.
He usually is, yeah. And I think
Plays with
at
some
least like
shitters.
at least in the past few seasons that he's played, stretching back to that run with me and Tree, Milk Boxy, he was definitely carrying us. And I do think I learned a lot from playing with him. I wish he would have stayed on our team actually, because maybe he would have done better, you know?
Yeah, he's
I
one of the
was
people
beating
that
him
like
after.
plays a ton. He plays a shit ton. He is really fun and positive to play with. Like I've never really heard him. I've heard him tilt maybe once, and we have hundreds.
Yeah, he
of
doesn't
games
get mad
together.
very often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he is also, he's like a responsible adult, and so he's chill to talk to. And we've like maintained like really good contact after even playing 2 seasons together. So Lorenzo's the GOAT. But before and I want to also say he owned this season in champ. He got top 4 on a team that was, I think he legitimately was 1v5ing every single game. So shout out Lorenzo.
Backdoor Bandits?
Yeah, Backdoor Bandits. He
He had some help.
some help, dude, but he was like 20
I think they definitely like came together better as a team later on.
fair.
They
Yeah.
kind of grew as a team, in my opinion. But he
Fair.
was definitely the best player on the team.
Dude, he was
for
getting
me.
respect banned. All four
Their
all
off
four
laner's
first
really
phase
good.
bans were against him. Literally every game they lost. It was crazy.
Their
But
offlaner is solid as well.
I don't want to take it too much.
I think a lot of the players are solid, but
Yeah.
like those two are the standouts for me.
Before we jump fully into champ chat and the way the league went, I'd love to give IPA the kind of the spotlight and floor to talk about Conk. I would love to hear about how your season went. I was not super tuned in for playoffs, but I got to see like the regular season. You guys were winning almost every single game. You guys were owning upper bracket. And then I actually don't even know what happened in upper bracket. I don't know if you dropped down immediately or if you played through and then lost in uppers, but tell me about it, and also just talk a little bit about like how your playoffs went, how your season went overall, the guys you played with, whatever you want to yap about.
Yeah. Before we get onto that thought, I love this Raleigh talk. It was really cool. Rusty, how did you find all the 82L people? Did you guys have like a 82L button? Like, did you all just like talk in the Discord to meet up at a place? Like, it's so cool you met so many different people. Like, how'd you pull it
It was a
off?
lot of Discord, a lot of people DMing me, and there was also a channel for like Raleigh meetup. Oh yeah, I hung out with like Jamie as well. He was
Did you
there.
organize it, or did
Jamie's.
ADSL do it?
There was a thread in the 8012 Discord.
Oh, okay.
Jamie was there. Jamie's twink was there. Hung out with them. That was great. Jamie's twink got really drunk, so that was crazy. I'm trying to see
Cool.
from my DMs if I can remember who I talked to. Yeah, I don't know. But
It's all good. I just like the ability to meet up with so many different people at one random location is like really awesome. You were able to pull that off.
yeah, it was delightful.
I hope to like you guys are almost convincing me to show up to one of these live events one time. It just sounds like such a good time when people always talk about it.
Yeah, next one in America, I definitely recommend, and I can only imagine that like the amateur Dota meetup will be even more, because it's grown the past 2 that I've been to. So
Really, that's surprising.
yeah.
I feel like they would.
No, like I said, I met more people. I met more people the first time. I'd met some different people the first time. I met like a lot of I'll call them DOPS associates. I met a lot of those folks, like Matt Joman. Matt Joman's got a lot of press. I believe I met him at the Arlington event. I met a lot of the like damage people.
Did you
The
guys just
first
like meet
time-
up? Did you meet up at bars or did you just meet up like at the arena?
No, at that one I met up at the arena. At this one there was like a bar meetup and there was a
cool.
lot of arena meetups as well.
I didn't know there were like bar
And then
meetups.
some
and stuff.
like
That's pretty
hanging out
chill.
afterwards. Yeah, there was a bar meetup that I think was organized by more like PDC, MD2L type people, but I know some 82L people who went to that as well. We did not go to that. That was when I was going out with the Zoomer Fail Brigade. But so we missed that one. But I think Jamie was there. And I think he had a good time meeting up with some folks. It was good to see him and his twink. Yeah, LT Nest Night, Chef's #1 op. He was there. I shared a bunk bed with LT Nest Night, actually. Fun fact.
On the same
I was
level,
on the
right?
top bunk. No,
You
I
were
was on
both
the
on the
top bunk.
Okay.
No. No. And then I shared a bedroom with Bernie. And I was on an air mattress that slowly deflated throughout the night, and I woke up on the hardwood floor.
See, dude, that
Now,
kind
to
of
be
stuff.
fair-
Like, I guess I feel like I'm just too old to sleep on an air mattress that deflates
Don't
halfway
worry,
through the
Chev.
night.
Chev, we'll get the hotel with the 2 double beds. Have
Yes,
a bed all
sir.
to ourselves, like some old men. Don't worry.
When I went to MD2L,
so-
I
I
just
don't
got my own
blame
hotel
you.
room,
I don't
dude.
blame you.
In MD2L, everyone shared a room, and I just got my own hotel room because I was like, I'm too old to share a room with like fucking 5 people. You know, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm getting up there. Age
Well,
will
at
be
least you
starting
had
with
the
a 3.
benefit. If you shared a bunk bed with Lieutenant Nest Knight, at least he had the experience of living in a barracks in a bunk bed as a military member, and it was easy, for you to pull that off.
Very
That's awesome.
true. Very true. I feel bad because the bunk bed was super creaky. It was like some cheap ass metal bullshit from like IKEA or something. But Nest was snoring on that bottom bunk, so I gotta put him on blast. I probably woke him up a little bit. He probably woke me up a little bit. The rest of the snores were exiled though. Exiled to the third floor. 82L Commod Dubu, he was exiled. He's a big snorer.
Oh, man.
Get up in the attic.
See, I don't want to know about the sleeping habits of my 82L peers. Like, I'm good. Also, I don't know how I'd get back to my fiance and be like, yeah, I just spent a weekend sharing a room with 8 people. What's up, babe?
I was just sleeping with my boys.
Yeah, just sleep with the boys.
I was just bunked up with the homies.
Marriage tip for you, Chev. Just get pre-approval on that kind of weird shit first. That way, when it
true.
happens, it's, you're like, hey, you expected it. Come on.
True. Now, my fiance is being like super fucking awesome lately. My two of my best friends, they both one of them got eloped this year, and then another one got engaged as well. And I was kind of like, yo, I don't want to do a real bachelor party because it just gets to be too much. In my opinion, I think wedding culture has become like overdone. I'm sure everyone has this opinion at this point, but
Definitely agree.
I was like, why don't the 3 of us just like either do something together? Maybe we spend a night out in New York because it's a city that's kind of in between all of us, or why don't we just like hang out at one person's like house for the weekend or something? And then my friend was like, I kind of want to do a impromptu trip to Portugal. I was thinking about it anyway. Do you guys want to do something like that if we get some cheap flights? And I was like so scared to talk to Jenna about it because I was like, oh, yikes, she's gonna be like, we have to save up for a house and a wedding and like everything's so fucking expensive. And instead she was like, I will literally pay for you. Like, you're not allowed to say no to this. You have to go. You've never got the opportunity to like travel abroad with friends. That sounds awesome. Like, you're getting older. Please go do this. So either she's really trying to get me out of the house or she's just like the dopest person in the world. One of the two.
That's great.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's going on a grad trip to Spain with her gay friend, so I'm excited for her too.
Hell
That's
yeah.
good. You gotta let the spouse, get out, see the world, That's
For
more
sure.
time for me to play Dota.
Yeah, those weekends are nice for sure.
My girlfriend's like, all summer I'm not gonna be able to see you that much because I'm studying for the bar. And
You're
I'm
like,
like,
nice, I get to go to the gym and play video games.
bummer.
I've been there.
That sucks. Guess I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah. that's
Conquer
funny.
League.
Yeah. Let's talk Dota now. The people are here for Dota. Maybe.
I love this. I love this stuff. So, yeah, I think one of the most interesting things at the end of a season, and I kind of wish Rhino was here for this because he'd probably make fun of me for saying this, but is whatever like your metric is for did you have a successful season? Um, and most of the time, the most obvious one is winning. And of course, you guys have the chip, so it's very easy for you to say, "Hey, like this was a successful season. We won."
Hey, I got a lot of losses, bro. I can talk about
Yeah.
that part too.
And there is like your finishing place. There's probably like a finishing position that feels like you failed or you succeeded. For some people, it's hey, we made playoffs, like we're really happy. I remember the season that we played Conqueror, and like that was the season Dojo was in Conqueror, right after Glicko, and I think we had 17 teams, and we were projected to be 16 or 17 by the Waste of Time uh, content panel in
I
Rusty.
remember that.
Yeah, and we made playoffs.
We
Like,
played you week 1 and we lost the game to, and we were
yeah,
like, "What the fuck, man? We're supposed to
yeah.
own these guys."
We beat like Pizza Junior in tiebreakers to like actually get top 8, and that season, like even though we lost to, I think maybe it was Chev and the Fav team at that time. That like we all had a consensus like we're like really happy with how we did. Like we totally exceeded everyone's expectations, even our own, and it felt really good to do that, right, to make playoffs. So, but this was a season where, and I've had a few now where my expectation was finals for sure. Just looking at the rosters, like knowing the people on my team. Same thing happened actually the Simple Chemistry season with Core and Hexy and Cloud. I felt like we definitely had a top 2 roster that season, and it was Rusty actually that knocked us out on the golf team that time. Um,
You should have had a more rigged sandbagger like I did.
Should have. I'm trying these days. But the thing is like at the end of the day, that was top 4, and it was a really interesting season. So this season, like the success metric, like I was hoping for the chip. I really was. I thought we were good enough to be in finals, and we kind of proved that in the regular season. Despite the fact that I think the most interesting thing coming out of Conqueror this season was a brand new team being probably, arguably the best team in Conqueror. A group of folks who when they were invited on content, said, "Yeah, most of our games are just in houses that we all play together with a big group of people." And I don't know what you guys are thinking, but the first when I hear like there is a team entering 82L for the first time, they are outperforming 82L stacks made of people who are all value or close to value or have been playing together a bunch of seasons, and they are crushing like literally everybody. My little antenna goes up of like, it's kind of weird. And then they say, oh yeah, and we don't have any like game history because all we do is play in houses.
Definitely not
And
common
then
because most teams that enter the league as like newbies usually do like pretty horrible.
yeah,
Most of
because
the
the average 82Ler is much better than the badge that they're weighted against. So this
yeah,
team
it's a
coming
different
in,
type of Dota, right? It's also not like competitive
yeah,
Dota versus pub Dota is like completely different.
yeah. So this team coming in was really like exceed expectations. Easy Youngblood, and then they made a roster swap on like week 2 or 3 because like one of their supports wasn't available. Picked up Snowman, who then 2 weeks later was Immortal, right? Weighted at like the floor, like low ancient. So like everyone's like, oh, Easy Youngblood. People are doing their research or whatever. But we played them, we won them, which felt pretty good. And then going into playoffs, like I actually did some content on every team in the league this time. Kind of like put my rating out there, how out of 100, like the meta score essentially of what I thought each stack was. There was a clear top 4, I think, and it did play out that way in playoffs, with the exception of the Easy Youngblood team getting upset by Grin Scythe, which was a really a really big shock,
L
actually.
L of the
Um,
century.
yeah, well, the thing is they did no scouting at all, so they gave away Hexy, Huskar, and Oracle combo, and then just lost to it. So it's kind of goes to show you like there are some elements of 82L where having that history like really does make a big difference. So our team, after getting booted to lower bracket first week by Spooky Scarrow Skeleton, Dr. Spike's team, we had some solid 2-0s in the lower bracket. Chewy Gang, I know, was a favorite of Rusty's preseason. He talked a lot about that team potentially being upper bracket, being pretty good, having a lot of good players on that
Yeah, they
stack.
stunk, huh?
Yeah, it didn't just play out that way, or at the very least, we matched up very well against them, and had 2 pretty easy games in the lower bracket, and then ultimately played against Grin Scythe after beating Easy Youngblood for 5th, 6th place, and 2-0'd them with game 2 like being like one of those 75-minute marathons, which was a lot of fun, to be honest with you. And then lower bracket finals against Savage after Savage lost 2-0 to Spike's team in the upper bracket. It was a series I was pretty confident going into, to be honest. I think player wise, I like the way our roster matched up against them. We won in the regular season, but I felt like we were the better team on aggregate, and it just didn't play out that way. I think game 1 we threw a little bit. We definitely had a solid lead. I think we had the draft to win that. A little bit of animalistic play, you might say. Kind of got on our way with some like tier 4 dives like multiple times going on ground. But we lost game 1, and then game 2. I think, this happens to me. I hear the voices in my ear in playoff crunch time. I hear people. I really struggle with this balance of drafting dictatorship versus giving my friends and teammates the heroes they want to play. Or sometimes it's them suggesting heroes that I don't want to pick, but the consensus is like, well, this is a good game for this hero. And so that happened game 2, and the game just really didn't go that well. Looking back on it, I've
This
spent
is
a
for
lot of
Savage?
time. Yeah, it's for Savage. So I spent way too much of my time thinking about how I would have done that differently.
So this was I have the game pulled up in front of me. So this was. Are you talking about the Medusa pick on 18 from you?
Yeah. So that was a suggestion. I think I have like 3 total Medusa games in my life in Dota 2. Whatever. It's an easy hero. You just click Snake in lane. You take split shot. You kill stacks. You hit stone gaze when they go on you. Honestly, the hero is not hard to execute. Gorgon's Grass is not a hard thing to hit. The problem is like from a timing perspective, you have this Alchemist Medusa timing matchup where
Right.
this like 20 to 25-minute window, and I was on track for like Manta Butterfly by like 22 minutes. Like I was doing well that game. I was only 1,000k behind Alk in the mid game, which is pretty good for most carries. But we just like lost some mid fights. There was like one bad call where Fatality thought I was Timber and I was Medusa, and he asked me to gank with him. And I will say this: of any team I played on, this was the best listening team I've ever had. Someone made a call, everyone just did it. There was like never
Yeah,
a
bro, you got
doubt in
your
anyone's mind.
Canadians, man. You got your Canadians. All they
Let me
do.
tell you, that's how they did it, and we all followed suit. So like we definitely had some losses this season of just like bad calls that kind of came to fruition. But at least we did it together.
Yeah,
So that's how that ended up going down. And the reason I bring up metrics for success is because one of my biggest metrics for success in 82L is recognizing it's an amateur Dota league. And if I end the season and everyone wants to play together again, like that feels like a huge W for me. If everyone's in the Discord chat saying like, "Yo, if we can reform this stack, I would love to play with everyone again." That's kind of how this season went. I think Black Up and Phoenix in particular. Obviously, I've played every season with Fatality and Cloud, so I don't have any vibe issues with them. But Fatality or Phoenix and Black Up just slid in perfectly. Our Canadian brothers there, and everyone pretty much was in agreement that even though we could have, maybe should have won it, that's how you always feel, right? When you get eliminated, that we would all love to play with each other again, and we just had a lot of fun playing together. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, like that's what I want to take away, and definitely felt that way this season.
for sure. I think those are good metrics. And honestly, I mean, I think you hit it on the head. Like it's an amateur league, and you're here to enjoy yourself at the end of the day. And yeah, it's try hard and competitive, and feeling good about that is important. But I think it's also obviously important to have fun and enjoy yourself. And you honestly just like you picked some of the best people to do it with too. Like I really like all of the people on this team. And that's rare for me. I got I definitely have beef with a lot of people, especially people you've teamed with in the past. But like Phoenix, Black Up, Cloud, like those are and Fatality, those are some of the best people in the community. So I would be shocked if it went any other way. Um, but yeah, that's tough, man. I would never the Medusa pick. If you, I would, so something kind of similar happened in our series, and we went the opposite direction. But it was like I would never ever pick a hero for myself or my teammate that they've only played 3 games of, like ever. And I think Rusty probably feels similarly because in our game 5, So it's an elimination game in the same way that this one was for you. They picked Medusa on 8, and it was one of the heroes they'd been banning all series. So it was kind of like they usually had second pick besides for the last game. So they were limited to 3 bans. And then they pretty much needed to ban 4 heroes against us. All series, it was Coddle, Storm Spirit, what were the other ones?
Ember and Tinker.
No. Yeah, Tinker. It was Coddle, Storm Spirit, Tinker, Medusa.
Ember was also banned every game.
Yeah, Ember was, but it was a second phase. So Storm, Coddle, Medusa, and Tinker were the 4 bans. So they only got to choose 3 of them in the last game, and they let the Medusa through and picked it themselves. So they obviously don't have the opportunity to ban Anti-Mage. And Bernie, we were all like, Bernie was like, haha, Anti-Mage is in the pool, and pros are picking it, and like we were all thinking about it. And then I think simultaneously, Bernie, me, and Rusty were all like, no, let's not do that. Even though like pros will instantly snap Anti-Mage against Medusa if they don't ban it in the first phase. And it's like, obviously it's probably the strongest hero to hero like counter matchup in the entire game of Dota 2. But we just didn't pick it because Bernie, even though Bernie's got like hundreds of Anti-Mage games, I think we were like, no, like he hasn't played it recently. And Bernie's like, yeah, I haven't played it recently. Like I'm just nervous to go out on it. So we just didn't do it. So I feel like
What hero?
Anti-Mage.
Oh, I don't even remember discussing Anti-Mage.
Yeah, he thought about it. You probably shut it down instantly.
I was probably deep in thought.
Yeah, we thought about it. Bernie was like, I even like pondered it for a second. I was like, do we pick it? Like, if you haven't played it, we shouldn't. And then he's like, yeah, I just haven't played it. So I think that goes to say, like, no matter, even if it's a good hero for the game, I think I've learned a lot in drafting and playing with people that comfort is more important than meta and ideal picks. And I think that's kind of what like screwed us up in a lot of our losses. We were picking these ideal heroes for the game, not what our players are going to function best on. And I also think that another thing is that we learned that from scrims. Like we've scrimmed together pretty much weekly since the start of the season. Sometimes 2
I was
games.
gonna say, I think we did like 20 scrims.
Yeah, and you learn how
Like
to
that's
draft.
not an exaggeration. I think we did like at least 15 scrims.
Yeah, I think it's true. And like when you do that, you just learn like, okay, I know that when this player suggests this hero, especially someone like, okay, Blunt is a perfect example. Blunt will suggest a hero, and if we pick it for him and we're not feeling good about it, it's not a good game. And he's like, I don't know why I'm picking this. I don't know why I picked this shit. This is so bad. Because he's not like a drafting player and he doesn't think about the drafts like that. And Rusty and I are more like, we think about drafts in a very similar way. So I think it's like easy to, this was like an easy team to draft on, but back to you guys, I think that like you guys never scrim, right? Is that true, IPA?
We scrimmed once or twice, I think.
Okay. So I think a lot
all
of
season though.
Yeah. So I think like drafting with the team and learning how your players suggest heroes is like it's honestly like really helps you when you get down to like those intense situations. So when you see someone suggest a Medusa pick and you're like, well, I know that Phoenix is playing Wraith King, and Phoenix is not a farming player, really, to my knowledge, that I remember of him. So even though like Medusa Wraith King I think is like insanely strong in this meta, maybe your players it just didn't function the best on. I don't know, but yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is like I've been doing this for a long time. No hero is like not a comfort hero for me. I can just kind of figure it out pretty easily on the fly.
I don't know about that.
But what was uncomfortable for us was the style. Like we have functioned much better if I'm on some type of an aggro carry, because sending me to the jungle for the first 25 minutes of the game just did not benefit our team. And so for me, that was ultimately the downfall of like, I knew it was an okay Medusa game. My teammate was like, yeah, it's like Medusa wins this game. Let's just pick it, bro. And I was just like, I mean, I guess I can just farm on it for a while as long as I have time to hit my timings. And it just didn't go that way. I think the Timber pick for Black Up was very mid as well. So, it's just kind of like going back and looking at the drafts. I definitely I struggle to live in the past. I'll talk about that on previous podcasts before, but I'm just glad at the end of the day, like everyone seemed to have a really good time.
That's good. Good time is good. I don't know if I agree with you on the comfort at every hero thing because I mean mechanically I'm sure that's true, but mechanics are like so easy. I think a lot of Dota is like understanding where you're supposed to be on the map depending on what hero you play and being able to do that in a way that's so second nature that you can think about multiple things simultaneously. Um, and that's why I always try to like limit myself to only a handful of heroes. But there are some really easy heroes to play, like Spirit Breaker is an example. I will not pick Spirit Breaker because I don't understand how to play the hero like on a more like I guess um I don't know, philosophical level. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but like I don't know the theory behind Spirit Breaker, and I don't know like I know how to charge and how to, use my buttons, but I don't know how to play it from like a playing the map standpoint. So I know I'm not going to perform well on it. So I would just rather be Earth Spirit because I know exactly I know exactly how many right clicks plus spells it's going to take to clear a creep wave and what creep waves I can go for and like when I can roll in and out, and I know like the limit testing of it. So that's where I feel like if you've only played the hero 3 times, I don't know that you're going to know like the hero like the back of your hand. Like you'll know the mechanics, but are you going to know how many snake bounces it takes to kill a range creep that has 60% HP? Like I don't know.
I guess it's just vibes, bro. I just look at the bar and I just look at the damage and click it. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know. It doesn't seem. I don't know. It just doesn't. It just works out.
But the thing I find is if I play a squishy hero I haven't played in a while, I'm guaranteed defeat.
yeah, because you're
At
not
least
used
for
to how
me.
you're not like you don't have that same like knowledge in your head of okay, I'm allowed to stand here on Rubik because I know what my cast range is because I've played this hero like 300 times. Versus like if
I
you're
think I'm
playing,
also more noob than your average player though, so
yeah, you're a
But
little
like
noob
that,
at positioning.
I think more people have natural Dota talent than me. Like I honestly have played and practiced a lot to get pretty decent at the game, but I think other people it comes more naturally to them.
Yeah, but I think you have other strengths though too. Like mechanics might not be your strength, but there are other aspects of the game that are.
I
You
mean,
know?
I think positioning has always been weaker for me. I think laning was weaker for me. I think I'm a lot better at that now. I think usually I cast the spell on the right person though, generally.
bruh.
But
Here's
sometimes
what
the
I'll say,
skill shots
Chef.
be miss. Sometimes the skill shots be missing. I
Wait, I
can't
want to hear
lie.
what Effie is saying. What were you gonna say?
Well, I think because I think this goes with what Rusty's saying though. Like he wasn't
Hmm.
trying to make this point, but I think he did. Is that I think there are a very limited number of archetypes in Dota, and like yeah, like maybe I haven't played a bunch of games of Medusa, but I know that Medusa is going to play the map and generally have the same farming patterns as Luna or any ranged Manta buying carry, because you're generally going to play separate from your team, but you're going to want to farm jungle and push the lane with your Manta and try to be safe. And then the only thing that's different is the way you click your abilities in the fight. And so, like, I know you're saying like you have to play games and stuff, but the same with like Rusty's backline squishy hero comment is like, you don't have to be playing a game as Silencer if you've played 100 games with other backline squishy support heroes that are getting first targeted, like any save support, as long as you understand what his abilities do. I feel like it's basically the same practice and it is just as effective
Wait,
as everything else.
it's funny you say this because I have a crackpot theory about Dota, and it's that every role has basically three, and they're broad, so don't come yelling at me. But there's three broad archetypes of like each role in Dota, in my opinion, and most people are only good at two of those. And I'll give an example. On our team, we have Bernard Sanders. Okay, he can play ranged turret carries. He can play AFK, farm triangle stacks, and hit timing heroes. He cannot play like melee frontline heroes at all.
Yeah,
Or
he's not
like,
because he's not good at
I mean,
using
he
his health
could,
pool.
right?
Yeah,
He could, right? But he doesn't practice them and he's not very good at it compared to those other roles. He's not good at Alchemist. He's not good at DK. He's not good at Tiny. He's good at PA. He
he,
can rice and farm
he's
and
good at
choose his targets.
he's good at playing the heroes that sit back, watch the fight, and then wait for the opportunity to go in and get the key kills. And that's why Bernie doesn't have a lot of hero damage when he plays the game because he's not always in the fight doing a lot of damage, maximizing his hero. He like he doesn't use his health pool as well as he uses his like jump abilities and mobility abilities, right?
Right.
So yeah, and I agree. I think that's like mostly true.
This is just my crackpot theory, though. Three types of each role, and people are only good at 2 of them. So pick the 2 you're good at.
I think
I think for me, like I've gone through periods of Dota where I practiced a lot of the like backline save heroes, and I was good at those at that time. I just haven't been playing that much, so like I kind of suck at that right now. But
I think
give me
there's also like, okay, Shadow Shaman and Lion are really similar heroes, right? Like probably 2 of the most similar heroes in Dota.
somewhat.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, very fair.
I am insanely bad at Lion, like so bad at Lion, and I think I'm pretty good at Shadow Shaman. Like
But you could probably be good at Lion with like 5 games of practice.
if I practice it, but that's
3 games of
that's
practice.
my whole point, though. That's my whole point. Not 3 games. Like I have over 100 Shadow Shaman games, I think, and I have like 20 Lion games, and I feed every time I play Lion because I don't practice it. So it's like for me, and maybe it's just a specific thing to me, but I think like there's a thing to be said about like a feel for the hero and like really knowing it, because you just have like a better understanding of exactly how much damage your spell does and your attack range and your cast points and everything, that it makes you like so much better mechanically, and also better like ability to think about what's happening in the game because you already have done it 100 times. So I don't know. I think there's like a lot to be said about really knowing everything about a hero versus like just knowing conceptually what it does.
Yeah, and we had this argument on the Conqueror Finals cast that I was lucky enough to be a part of, that in 82L, maybe with the exception of Heroic, but probably still at that level too, is comfort beats being optimal, essentially, most of the time. If you can get people on 5 comfort heroes against 5 people that are tryharding their most at the draft, unless you get some like really cheese pick, for the most part, the team on the comfort heroes is more likely to win most of the time. So I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm just saying I think there are a couple of heroes in Dota, and part of it is just because I've been playing this damn game so freaking long. That games that I had on Medusa and Dota 1, there is like some element of muscle memory from that. So
that's actually
yes.
true. I think I could bust out Undying any 82L game and win. Like
especially if they haven't had major changes, like Undying. Like this shit has basically been the same hero for years.
Yeah, no, he's pretty much the same.
Yeah, but
I think Shaman and Lion is really interesting.
They changed the way his W was calculated. That's like the
I've
thing
played
they changed.
4 games of Undying maybe in my life because that hero is snooze fest, and
No, he's not, man. You're so stupid.
I think he's snooze, but I don't even know when or where to put the tombstone. Like I promise you, I will play so poorly on that hero, even though it's an easy hero and I know what it's supposed to do. Because
well, I'm saying I don't know it because I have only played 5 games, but it's easy. I've played it like 150 times in the past, and it's easy enough that I think I could just hop in and do it again.
yeah, I don't know. I think there's also just like different people and different mindsets on it, but we don't have to spend too much time on this.
It's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah,
I think people should practice their best meta picks so that it becomes their comfort.
Yeah,
easy.
Genius. Should we talk about champ finals in our season, Rusty? Do a little batch testing.
Yeah. IPA said he has a successful season when everyone wants to come back and play, and sometimes people tell you 2 days later they have no interest in coming back and they don't want to play with you again. It's kind of hurtful.
Come on, man. What? It's not like that, bro. It's not like that.
Well, yeah, we won. I'm pretty happy. I was really happy, actually. I will say this. The one thing I'll say, the 2 seasons of 82L I've won are probably the 2 that I like tried the hardest in terms of like practicing with team. So little 82L hack, guys. Do scrims and practice pubs with your team. And I don't even think it's like I don't even think it's that much of like practicing playing with people necessarily. It's more like knowing what people are good at so that you can maximize their efforts, right? Because like we said, I think we by the end of the season figured out like what heroes Bernie was good at and what he was most comfortable with.
For me, it was actually blunted. Figuring out blunted.
Figured out how to
heroes.
maximize his talent. Yeah, same with blunted. I mean, because finding the heroes for him that work the best, trusting him to play the Earth Spirit, even though it's kind of a weird hero. Picking the puck in the decider, and him owning. Definitely helpful information, because I mean, how many? We probably lost some scrims, some officials with blunted playing some weird stuff like sniper or some other stuff we tried that just didn't really fit with our team. At least maybe would have fit on a different team, but
Yeah.
didn't fit with us.
IP, I don't know if you know this, but I became like the self-proclaimed blunted whisperer throughout the season. Because
I did not.
Yeah, it felt like almost every game that I wouldn't draft his hero. And it really helps that I played mid, obviously, but also whenever the hero would come up that I just felt bad about blunted playing, or he called for himself, or Rusty called or something, and like I saw the concept behind why they picked it. It was kind of like, all right, we lost, and blunted does not look like blunted in this game. Like Rusty said, he was playing like weird heroes like Kunkka or Sniper or Razor, or some hero that is just like not very blunted, or a hero that can just get like
No, we never played Razor. We never tried Razor.
I think we might have been a scrim, maybe not.
No, never.
But
I would remember.
Pango, like these heroes that are just not super blunted. Maybe there was a Viper. I don't know the exact ones, but like they were not his style. The games just like wouldn't go well. He'd get tilted. The rest of us would kind of get tilted. Not really tilted, but like it wouldn't be super good vibes. So I decided to just like, I think I made it. I said something out of like mild frustration, but more just like we can win in after game 2, or as game 2 is ending. I was like, just please let me pick blunted hero. Like let me pick blunted heroes for him, and we will win every game. And we just kind of started putting blunted on these like heroes that had so much potential for like player skill. So I would never put him on something like Sniper or Kunkka, because those heroes are just so easy and you can't really maximize your like plays on them in the same way that you can if someone's playing Puck or Storm Spirit or Ember Spirit. So we ended up just like only picking blunted those heroes, even though he was like, do you guys really need me to like try my heart out right now in a scrim? And we were like, yes we do. So we would just put blunted on these like super flashy playmaking 1v5 mids. I think that's like a lot of our success that we found in our team.
Interesting. Okay, I appreciate that insight.
Blunted
I mean-
God, man. Blunted God.
For real. Yeah.
Honestly, Jack's God too. I've been meaning to say this. Blunted gets a lot of glaze, and he was like superstar, flashy playmaker. Like honestly, obviously, huge reason why we won. But I think lost in that is that Jax is a fucking beast of a player as well. And I don't know how many times he has a tough lane, or we ask him to play a hero like Bristleback in a tough game where he's countered, has to lane into some TA, play against some Terrorblade, where it's going to be a hard matchup for him. Or that game like game 4 of our finals, he had the roughest start on Razor and ended up getting Chev got a lot out of it, but he had a really hard time.
Oh, that game was amazing.
And he still comes back. He starts the lane so awful and ends up with the most hero damage on our team. Like his Night Stalker was feared throughout the season. His Bristle won literally 9 games with 0 losses. His Kunkka was really good for us. He basically was an absolute unit, and I want to give him his flowers too, because I think he was a huge part of our success. And honestly, when sometimes you have a player on your team, they're that good, they want something flashy they can carry. He didn't care. He's always asking for Bristle, even in scrims.
Yeah, man.
Just like
dude, that's
trying to sweat in the scrims, and I'm like, do you really want to play that? And in our final game, he's on 9 pick. He sees Medusa. He's just like, give me the Bristle so they don't ban it. We get Bristle. He doesn't care if he has a hard lane, has a tough game, no ego. Honestly, like very low ego player for being the highest rank on our team. Just willing to sacrifice for the guys, willing to buy auras willing to have his lane sacked and willing to give Blunted the credit or Bernie the credit in the games that Bernie was owning too. Like, I really think he's like a great guy to team with, and having at least one core with like no ego, willing to have their hero picked early is super helpful. So I just want to give him credit because I really, and I think it, not to give myself credit, but I think it was kind of my idea to get Jax on the team.
Yeah, it was.
Or at least it like came to me first. Maybe Bernie was having the same thought, but I know I'm the one who kind of brought it up
You brought Jax
first and
in?
asked him
You brought
asked him
Jax?
if Bernie would be okay with it or if he wanted to, and he was totally down, and worked out great.
Yeah, you brought Jackson. I brought Blunted in, and Bernie just kind of he got adopted along for the ride, man.
Well, it's my third season in a row with Bernie. We kind of
Yeah.
we've been knocking on the door, man. We had a couple good chances that ended up sad, but
Fun fact for the pod.
we finally did it.
Yeah. Shout out Bernie Sanders. And fun fact.
Honestly, I think like 3 of the finals games, I think Bernie played like insanely well. Honestly, like
Yeah,
as
me
good
too.
as you can ask
An
for a
ancient five
floor player,
for an
for
ancient five
playing
player.
for playing carry as a floor player. I think games 1, 3, and 4 he played like extremely well.
Yeah.
Game 1 he was absolutely owning.
Sorry, what
Game
were
1
you-
was until the rest of us threw Bernie. That was literally going to be like the Bernie Sanders legacy game, and like the rest of us threw the game like idiots.
Oh yeah, dude. I was thinking about that. Bernie, like the one game he was absolutely owning, we shit the bed. I felt bad.
And
for him.
honestly, like, you know, obviously Blunted carried us all season. Amazing player, flashy, like playmaker, fucking stud. He kind of threw the game 1 by aggressively buying back and then dying again. It was a little bit of a throw, I can't lie. But like, you know, I say this in good spirits and good fortune, knowing that he carried pretty much every other win prior to that game. So
yeah. So I know Rhino's here, but you guys got to hold up for 1 second because I want to talk about the Jax thing. I've had not horrible, but I've struggled with offlaners for the past couple seasons I've played, where my offlaner either like won't play the game that much or like is scared to go in. And playing with Jax has honestly just been like, he's my favorite offlaner I've ever played with. That dude is an absolute beast. I fed
his willingness
lane.
to feed is amazing.
Dude, I fed his lane so many times and felt so bad about it. And he just like did not care at all. He's like, it's fine. Just make some stacks. And like, I've never played with someone so mentally just like there, man. Like he's just he's a rock for sure. He's like everything you want in offlaner. He's like willing to play the map. And the ego thing is a big deal too, because he was obviously our highest MMR player at the start and end of the season.
I think we came in expecting him to kind of be like the alpha dog and sort of like Blunted sort of took the mantle at least from a flashiness and like league wide admiration standpoint. But like Jax doesn't give a shit, man. He's all about the dubs.
For sure. And I also real quick, I want to like the ego thing. He was never the one making a ton of calls. He would make certain like small ones, but whenever Rusty and I made a call, and especially if it was like an aggressive call, like Jax, don't greed that wave, he would just completely respect the call, even though it was something that he wanted to do that we didn't want him to do. Even though he's like the highest MMR player in the team, he'd be like, okay, I'm going to listen to my team's calls, which is so rare to find in somebody who's also that good. So.
And the fact we suck compared
Yeah, we
to
suck,
him.
bro. We're bad. Sorry, we're gonna say FPA.
See, I think you guys are onto something. You know, as part of my season content, I tried to recreate the kind of Dota diagram that you have if you look in your profile, which says like versatility, farming, pushing, fighting.
That's fun.
I think for an offlaner, I would rank the highest priority of skill like that is actually stability. I think offlaners providing stability is like insanely important to a team, and it seems like Jackson, everything you described is like the epitome of that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it would definitely look like he was feeding, but even when he was feeding, he was impacting the game in the way that an offlaner needs to. So like he was never taking, unless it was intentional, he was never just taking passive farm. Like if he's playing Sand King, Bristleback, taking stacks, that's different. But like in the game itself, he's always playing up on the map, pushing out the waves, playing in the enemy's face, doing exactly what you want an offlaner to do in that stable way. And even if he like most of the time he was owning, but certain games he'd have like 10 deaths. But if he was having 10 deaths, the team was benefiting. So like that game, the game 4, I kind of want to take a step back and talk about my experience of the full season and the playoffs, but specifically in game 4, Jax would he fed the lane and then came back to lane and then died, and it was completely his own, like, not his, I mean, yeah, it was kind of his fault. And I was like, damn, we're gonna lose 0-3 right now because Jax is feeding his lane. But when he died and did that, I got my first 5 hits of the game were all hero kills on Earthshaker, and I think I had as much farm as Blunted did at 6 minutes, and I was level 6 at 6 minutes. It was like an insane start for a pause for Earthshaker because Jax was feeding his brains out. So
There was one play where Jax is feeding and Chev TP's back to the tier 1 and to like get out of danger, and Jax dies, and then Chev kills him with a fissure. And I look over, I'm like, oh dude, Chev just griefed you on purpose, man. He wanted the kill.
Dude, it was amazing. It was such a
really
funny game. But Jax still, that was the Razor game that he still did the most damage in the team. And I think he only died one time after the laning phase, but he ended the game.
He died 7 times total.
Yeah, one time after the laning phase. I said.
Oh yeah,
right.
He actually did only die one time after. That's true. Oh, he died a lot in the laning phase.
He died 6 times, man, in the lane.
He died,
but it was like such a that was our 0-2, like going into it, backs against the wall.
No, that was game 4. That was game 4.
Oh right. Still an elimination game, whatever. But Jax was that dude is yeah, he's a rock. He's a rock for sure. But anyway, sorry
guys,
about that. Rhino
pause.
here.
Rhino's here. I want to give a flame. Rhino posted in Twitch chat. I'll give a shout out and a flame. Rhino's been there this whole season watching all our games. He says he's the #1 family fan. He's always in chat. He comes into our Discord, which we gave him access to come see how the family's doing.
No speaking permission.
He's not allowed to talk during games, but he does come in and either listen or like just watch deafened, I guess. And game 3, we lost the fight. It looked pretty rough. And Rhino said it's been a good run, family, in Twitch chat. So I'm gonna give you the floor to defend yourself. And why didn't you believe in the family, man? It hurts me.
I think, well, it all came down to the game was looking really bad. I wasn't really a big fan of the game 3 draft.
Game 3 looked tough.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how they. I honestly think they threw that game. You guys didn't win game 3, to be honest. That was like sort of my assessment of game 3. And the item builds from YBW fan were a little, in my opinion, like game throwing. I think he was TA that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just was like, wow, this game's honestly over. It was a good run. His family, gave them my respect. And then I came back, smoked a little bit, came back. Then it was game 4. I was like, holy shit. They can actually make a little run here. But yeah, I think in best of 5, it's weird because there's this own meta between the two teams. And it's almost like they didn't put any respect on Jax. And I think you guys touched on that a little bit before I came in. But Jax was like the key to making you guys sort of play the game easier, in my opinion. Like, maybe it wasn't as impactful as Blunted, nor as consistent, but he brought, like, he didn't mind getting first picked. Like, that was key for the draft. Like, we knew you guys weren't going to flex the Bristleback or that Sand King. You could easily pick up first. And doesn't mind dying, like Chef said. I think the easiest off-lane role to play in is that sort of role. Like, you just walk in towers, you build tanky items, and that is what it is, right? You're not trying to be like Ace. You're not trying to be like 3-3. You're not trying to like make the game sort of revolve around you or the enemy team, like really feel your presence like that, like either in a rat way or a like I'm sort of farm way, like 3-3 Doom or some shit like that. He just
3-3 Doom.
3-3 Doom. My bad, man. My bad. You can't say that shit at a sporting event. My bad, man. But man. And so
he thought you were saying 3-2-2, bro. That's the explanation. He thought you were saying they threw it on purpose.
dude, that guy's just an idiot. Either way, that guy's an idiot. Actually, let me just take some time.
Dude,
If you
Rhino's
listen
here
to
for
this-
2 minutes, calling some
Do you have
dude
any
an
Raleigh
idiot.
fun? Share any Raleigh fun that you had while you're doing
This
this.
Samson, idiot. This guy. Okay, so basically, just to give a little context to the cast, I literally the first day is like that. I think it's the Friday, right? Me, Goff, the guys, we're all there. We're chilling. I'm like, all right, and tomorrow, if we get seats closer to the fucking stage, I'm gonna yell at 3-3 or whoever the fuck's up there. It really didn't matter who was up there. Like I was yelling at anyone. And it was like, like we're in a sports sort of thing, right? Like you can sort of yell, you can get involved, yada yada. Anyways, pull up Saturday. I'm like, all right, we got seats close, courtesy of Bernie and Rusty from waking up early. I think Sham too secured us some seats. Gambit was there too. Anyways,
Damn, Gambit, a few others. I actually was a bit later than them, but they secured the seats.
got there. This was the series where 3-3 decided to not play Doom. He played Beastmaster 2 games and decided to go like the wrong build on one of the games. I thought it was like actually just game throwing. I know I'm not 3-3, but I thought it was like really bad. And I told everyone it was like that build was like really bad. I think he went like HOD into like that mega HOD where you can like get a fucking ancient on Beastmaster. I was like, why go that when you go like the Ags, AC, BKB, Sanj Kaya build? And which he did go in the second game, by the way, when he picked it again. And they won that. And then that shit got banned. So I was like, 3-3 Doom! 3-3 Doom! Like, 3-3 Doom main stage. Like, I love Doom. So like, I was like, 3-3 Doom. This guy out of nowhere. He's like, shut up, kid! I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I turn to this guy. This guy looks like, honestly looks like some like school shooter and like the most active app on his phone. The most active app on his phone is probably Reddit.
Keep it tame.
And I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yo, let's see the screen time. Post the screen time.
Dude, I'm like, literally, I think I can see Reddit open on this dude's phone from like where I'm sitting. So I just tell this guy, shut up, bitch. And then I'm like, yo, come over here and do something if you want to tell me to shut up. So then I say 3-3 Doom again. And he's like, all right, shut up. And then I'm like, bro, come over here. And then Licky steps in and Licky's like, guys, Licky. Like in a Licky voice, like, guys, just calm down. I'm like, all right, man, all right. It's no big deal, nothing actually happened. This guy went back to doing whatever he was doing. He never left his seat. And that was basically that. Otherwise, I took the golf guys, out clubbing, man. It was a great time. We went clubbing. It was a vibe. Got to see some dance moves from Bernie and Licky. That dude, Licky with a little bit of drink.
Licky is crazy.
Man, Licky, he was really getting down. So, yeah, no. Overall, great weekend.
Licky is the white woman whisperer, guys.
You got
this shit is crazy.
You got game with the ladies, Rhino?
I mean, there was like, okay, so like, I think I like do pretty well with just women in general. Like I can talk to them, I can do yada yada, and I did talk to them a couple of times. My issue,
yada yada.
I was trying to set them up with Bernie.
Dude.
I was trying to set them up with Bernie, and it was like
that's true.
Me and Bernie were gonna go on a
W wingman, bro.
Like it was just rough to try to get them to talk to Bernie.
It was a tough night. It was a tough night.
It was a tough night for the ladies, but it was a great night for dancing. You know what I mean? And overall,
the dancing at the club was great. Teju Beast was there dancing, bro.
So you guys just gotta dance and have fun with the ladies. Dance and have fun with your friends instead, man.
The ABGs were there, bro.
The ABGs were definitely out that night.
I'm just so surprised that the ladies didn't have fun at the amateur Dota 2 event with all the sweaty gamer dudes. That's so shocking.
They weren't at the amateur Dota 2 event, man. We were at a club.
With the amateur Dota 2 guys.
They weren't at the convention clubbing.
Where are you?
Bro, they had fun with Licky, man. Licky had W Riz, I'm telling you.
Bro, what are you guys in town for? We're here for the Dota 2 Defense of the Ancients 2.
We kept that shit locked up. I can't lie, it did smell in the event. Day one. When I was away from the golf guys, it did smell.
It was actually like not as bad as you'd think, though.
It wasn't like you walk into the venue and it smelled like sweat and ass. But like if you sat down next to somebody maybe a 33% chance if they were outside of the golf org that they smelled like shit.
Unlucky.
There's
Right.
good hygiene at the golf house. Good hygiene at the golf house.
I can't say at the golf house there wasn't like, yeah. I didn't get invited back to the Airbnb. It seemed like there was great vibes there.
You didn't get
I
invited?
think definitely good vibes. No, he did.
No, I
You
did.
did get invited. Good.
I did.
Good. All right, well,
Rhino was at the Airbnb.
Rhino,
We had a fun time.
Your story mostly lines up from what Rusty told earlier on the podcast, so mostly.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was got his fucking body thrown through a chair over 33 Doom.
All right, we've been in this for an hour and a half already. I want to just give my piece on kind of my season in general, playing with you guys, playing with the family.
What about all your enemies that you created along the way?
I've only created enemies with people that are not worth maintaining friendships with.
Wait, did you guys talk about next season yet or no?
No. I'll say this. I think that obviously I have I'm a controversial personality in the 8012 Discord. But the people that I actually care about talking to, I would like to think generally like me. People like, Phoenix and Cloud, IPA, team of good people. Obviously the guys in golf. I've even been talking to Frost lately, healing old wounds. Daddy Odin, like these people that are just like great community members. Dosha, waste of time, folks. And Diraj, I think that the people that I make enemies with, I don't care to soothe things over. So, I probably say things that are outspoken that I shouldn't say, but what can you do, man? I don't really care. They're very small people in the grand scheme of things. So it's all good. It's all good. The good people are around. But yeah. Just like overall this season, I don't remember if you guys remember talking about it in the early episodes of this podcast, because we've kind of been through this whole podcast now for almost 2 full seasons of 82L, which has been really cool and really fun. But I think that we went into this season and we were like, we'll be happy to get, like, it's Champ League. I'm a noob. We got an ancient carry player, Bernie Sanders, and Rusty, who loses like every season, first round playoffs. We were like, yeah, I don't know. We'll be happy to make top 6. And I think that we were all I think Rhino was like, you guys are a bubble team at the start of the pod.
I was expecting like I was expecting like 3rd or 4th.
I was
if I'm being
6th.
real.
Yeah,
if I'm being real, I was like top 3 or 4 would be good.
Yeah, I think I said bottom upper bracket.
Yeah. And I think that going into it too, I was kind of like, I'm excited to just like learn. I'm playing in Champ for the first time. It's like my first time playing Pause 4 in competitive Dota. So it was like a role swap. And the previous times I've tried to play Pause 4 or like support or any other role that isn't mid, I've been kind of shit at it. And I was just really going into it to like learn a lot, play with people that I enjoy playing with and that also want to try at the game but are just like friends in general. And back to the IPA saying, talking about what a successful season looks like. Even, I know this is so easy to say from this perspective after winning the league, but I think even if we had lost grand finals or even if we had lost in the playoffs, I think I still would have been pretty happy because I learned a shit ton about the game and also about team building and like strategizing from a different role than mid. I think I even got better at mid from playing support if I go back to the role now. And it was also just like really fun times to scrim with. Like I looked forward to scrimming every week. Love my lane partner. Obviously, like Bernie and Rusty have been like legit friends at this point. We've been, talking to each other, seeing each other in person for over 2 years at this point now. And it was just a great season, and it feels like a really good one for me too. I guess this is like a nice segue to go into what our plans are for next. But it's a nice season to end on for a little bit. I'm gonna be taking at least a 2-season break. And yeah, it was just nice to go out on this one. Nice to go out with people that I like playing with. I wish I could just keep that Rubik game. I'll probably play a pub at some point, but keep that Rubik game on my last played profile so I could go back and just see it there for how many days ago I played it. But it was a great season.
You did really good as Rubik.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good time, good one to kind of say like farewell to 82L on for now. Maybe I'll be back in a couple seasons. Maybe I'll still be around, cast a game or two, but that's it for me for the time being.
Yeah, I'm going to try to reform the family stag, but as Chev just said, we'll be missing a key part. For me, I think me and Chev worked really well together, and I do think in the spirit of postmortems, I'll be completely honest, because I like when people are honest. I think sometimes me and Chev clashed a bit, and I think he would get a bit tunnel visioned on something that I'm not seeing. But I think by the end, we recognize that we both are on the same page a lot and complement each other well, especially from like a strategy and a shot calling perspective. And I think in our games in the finals, Chev did a great job of keeping everybody on task and like galvanizing the team to play around certain stuff, getting smokes ready so that we could go fight with an advantage. And I think I did a really good job of keeping everybody calm, keeping everybody focused with some fun, some roasts, some jokes, and like keeping everything within the bounds of what feels good and what I think's best for our team. And I really appreciate. I've been wanting to play with Chev for a while. I tried to recruit him to that Golf Monday team, and he spurned us. And we ended up sending him packing, which was kind of fun. But I've been wanting to play with Chev for a few seasons now, and he is someone I valued the friendship and the Dota games with, even if I yell at him in a pub for talking to teammates too much.
Yeah, stay away from me in pubs for forever. Literally.
I did yell at you recently. Chev rage bob back, and I yelled at him. But I think we make a good team, and I'd love to. I hope we get a chance to team up again in the future. But
no, same here, man.
I'll remember this reverse sweep very fondly for a long time. Like, it's a really good memory, and for us to work so hard, suffer a setback, and battle back to win, feels great. The team honestly stresses me out. Chev and Jax love to BM random people. Like, we'll scrim some random ass team, and they'll just start BMing them, denying Aegis, all chatting, tipping,
No, we don't
saying
all chat.
stuff in post game chat.
We definitely don't all chat.
And I'm just like, what do you guys? They're like stressing me out.
Tipping high fives, dropping items, denying Aegises, voice lining. I would never all chat in a scrim.
They're stressing me out, but at the end of the day, definitely probably, if not my favorite, one of the best favorite seasons I've had, especially given the end result, and I'm really happy. And I went back. I'll probably go back and watch most of our perspective just to kind of relive it. But it was a lot of fun. I got to save the recordings because it's been a while for me since I've ascended to the mountaintop, man. Longer than any of you guys. It's been a while since I've been in the winner's circle, so it feels really good. My last 82L win was season 32, and we just got season 43, so it was 11 seasons. Since I was even in the grand finals, let
Feels
alone
good.
winning. So feels good.
That was
We
a long
put in a
time.
lot of hard work. Like, we really did work really hard. Did a lot of scrims, a lot of pubs together, a lot of scouting practice, which Chev also helped a lot with. So I just can't thank my team enough. All the hard work they put in. And shout out to Bernie, man. I've seen this guy's growth for 3 seasons now. From like a legend dog to someone who can legitimately hang and carry games in champ. I'm just really proud of him, and I know he doesn't always love to pub, doesn't always feel the most excited about Dota, but he's really put in a lot of work, got coaching from like Stanny and stuff to try to up his game and be more of an asset to the team, and I think he delivered in our games in the finals and throughout the season, so I want to give a shout out to him.
Yep. Oh, quick fun fact. I've about golf and me and Bernie in general. So the only two chips that golf has, Bernie and I both played on the same team. So Bernie and I
That's
have
right.
a one every time we've only played together for 2 seasons, and we won both of the seasons, and they're both on golf, and those are my only golf seasons. So it's a fun little golf fact is Bernie and I own all of the golf chips, and we suck. So I don't know
Golf
what
history, guys.
I don't know what Matthew and Shamurai, Edge Timber, all the gods of golf are doing, but yeah, step
Now
up
we
your
need to
game,
get them in
bros.
there. We need to get them in there for a dub.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough bad chesting. And the self suck. But how? What about you guys? Rhino, we already know you got his team cooked up.
Yeah, I am returning after what, like a season and a half hiatus.
I think we can call it
Is
a
that what
season
you
and a
call
half.
it? Season when you move the playoffs?
It was a 2-season hiatus.
Half
It was a
a
2-season hiatus.
dude, 2 seasons. Did only the
2
family
seasons.
doesn't count as a season?
That was a hiatus. That wasn't really
We
like
just
me
put
locked
your
in.
player in one champ. Come on, man.
That wasn't me locked in.
You
I
gotta
had
own
one
that,
kid playing
bro.
Terrorblade safe lane in my elimination game. Come on, we cannot count that in my tiebreak. I had Wild Daddy not building BKB and picking actual garbage in the off lane.
Yeah, that shit
I
counts.
just can't
bro.
count that season.
That shit
For real,
counts.
for real.
That counts.
Well,
Come
we
on,
counted,
man.
and Mini took over that shit, so I came back, proved myself with Mini. That got me feeling some type of way. So
The
now,
mini was good. The mini was legit. Nice job. Like
Yeah.
that
yeah,
was
now I had
awesome.
to come back and win something. So now we're gonna go win Conk with I want to be the most dominant team Conk's ever seen. I think that's my goal now.
Tell you
I
something.
think we can
Really
do
good
it.
goal. That's a crazy goal.
Let me tell you something. That's what Savage thought when they were going for 14-0, and I've put that fat L on their regular season
Very
schedule
true.
to stop them.
IPA did drop him.
I'll
Yeah,
be
that's
there,
pretty
Rhino,
sick.
when you try to have the most dominant team in history, and I will be stopping you just like I did them.
That'll be hype.
Let's go IPA.
Historically,
Rooting
I feel
for
pretty good
IPA
about this.
against Rhino's villain stack.
Listen, this will be my first ever season without fatality in 82L. We've played every season together,
That's
Wait,
crazy.
really? So
and he will be on Rhino's team now.
I took
wait.
him.
Oh shit. Okay, so the Rhino stack is Rhino, Hulk, Fatality, this guy Jack,
Son.
and Anime Jack, son. The
Anime
2
Jack.
Jacks. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like it's not really a villain stack. I don't know. Good luck with Hulk getting approved, but if that team
Real
does get
Hulk
approved, you guys will
haters
be
in
good.
chat, bro.
I'm pretty sure he's approved. I'm pretty sure it's all good.
I don't think
I'm
they
like, I
approved
mean,
so
he's
late.
been
That
Pretty
dude's like
sure it's all
7K.
good.
he's been
Pretty sure my
A4
previously
since-
banned players all good. I haven't
Guy's been
checked.
A4 for like 8 months, guys.
I would check in on that just to be safe.
Yeah, I'd get a ticket going right now. Get it in early,
Facts, bro.
bro.
Yeah, I should
Facts.
probably get a ticket in.
IPA, what about you, man? What's your next season dreams?
Yeah, I expect to be in Conqueror. I was hoping Chev would be there.
I wish I could be. I tried.
Like you said, you're a polarizing
Wish
player,
I
so
could
if nothing
be.
else, you bring some action to the league. Yeah, so we'll be there, but I learned my lesson. I will not be revealing any roster stuff until the day before rosters are released,
Oh, come on, man.
so that no one can complain.
It's our song.
I look forward
You
to
have
playing with Small Nut. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh. Okay. That's hype.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
That would be very cool. I love Small
Just
Nut,
because
man.
if Small Nut plays, Hulk has to play.
My boy
Let's
Jaime.
get Small Nut to play.
I mean, yeah, dude. James is a sick player. I think he's also really nice and good for the league, and he did nothing wrong. So that's all I'm gonna say. Free Small
Like,
Nut.
that's not actually a thing. You will recognize some players on my team this season. There will be some very surprising off-roll shenanigans happening. So I don't know if we'll be championship contending, but I fully expect to have a really good time.
Are you still doing the? I won't leak it because you messaged me about it. But are
no,
you doing that?
No, I couldn't find anyone deranged enough to do that with me.
Was I the only one that said yes?
Yes, you were.
Unlucky. Obviously, I'm not doing that because I'm not playing. And I think if I was playing, I'd probably just stay with Rusty. But it did sound really fun if you want to leak it.
Yeah, I tried to get Chev to get 5 mid players, except for one person, like a support player who would play support.
Oh, that sounds
The other
horrible.
mid players would
Yeah.
all play off role, and you're only allowed to pick mid heroes. So you have to play like support Coddle, support Tiny. Like they all have to be legitimate mids.
My support alchemist would shine in this sack.
So you can't pick Sven, for example.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
not a mid. Sven is an offlaner or a 1 only.
No,
Or a
you mean a
support.
5.
Yeah, he's everything but a mid. That's what I'm saying. There are some heroes.
He's
that
an odd
aren't
number
mid.
hero. Sven is an odd number hero. 1, 3, or 5.
I wouldn't even put him 3. I'd say he's a 1 or a 5.
MR the F played Sven offlane recently in a pro game.
I think there'd be some really fun drafts in that. Like you could throw some support Leshrac in with like some
Yeah.
pos 5 Tusk.
It's not that crazy. You could do like in 3 and 2 have a lot of overlap in the pool. I think in like carry you could play the snipers of the world, do like some carry quap shit.
Dude, my pos 4
I think it would be very playable.
Pos 4
I
Quap
know.
is so crazy. What could you do? That
Pos
would've
4
been fun.
Quap is awful, man. As a big Quap player, it is terrible.
I disagree. I'll tell you, I don't think that's true. I think she's fine in lane. There are certain
no, she's
matchups.
so bad, man.
No, there are certain matchups that are hard, but if you see the lane, I think she could make good. And I mean,
No,
a hero
highly
could do
disagree.
damage.
Nah, you
Rusty,
need levels so bad. The thing that ends up happening is you don't do any damage because your E's not maxed, and you are gonna die really easily because your W's not maxed.
Skill issue.
And if you don't max Q, then you're useless because you have no fucking threat to do anything.
Rusty, what about you for next
I've
season?
tried it a lot, man. I'm gonna try to rebuild family. We'll see. I think me and Bernie are pretty want to play together, and so we'll see who else we get. Like, I obviously would love to bring Jax and Blunted back both, and then fill Chev's role. Like either I play pos 4 or Phil with a appropriate MMR pos 4. So we'll see who we can actually get. But the plan is to rebuild. I think Jax wants to come back. Blunted is kind of the TBD right now, but we don't have a lot of time, so we'll kind of see.
Okay. If
But
you need me for some drunk
Me and
pubs,
Bernie will
let me
probably
know.
be playing together.
Hit me up after 11 p.m. on a weekend night for drunk pubs. You need help? Anyone?
Might need some help.
I can't win those pubs, man. They're just so hard.
You're doing your best. It's okay.
I also want to. So I think you should stay at 5 because honestly, playing pos 4 for you as the 5 is makes the game so easy because you're always like building the right items that the team needs. So I'm allowed to go blink dagger and like Ags and Aether Lens and
Thank you.
not feel like shit about
I
it.
do think I'm pretty good at like getting the right items usually.
Yes, you're very good at itemization and very good at like putting your wards down and shit. I know you like flamed yourself earlier for spell casting and like positioning, but I think you play the game in a way that those things aren't as crucial, and that like the more important things are the items that you buy and like the lanes that you play and things like that. So I think that if you find a flashy pos 4 player, it'll help you a lot. Or someone who is like pretending to play pos 4 like I was,
We'll likely need someone around the floor. So if you guys know anybody, let me know.
IPA, dude. IPA is right like my rank. If your team falls through,
IPA, hit me up.
I'm busy stopping
I'd
Rhino
love to
from his
team
villain run.
I'd love to team with IPA at some point. I think that'd be very fun.
I think we have to let him stop Rhino from the villain run.
I would love if IPA got a second chip from stopping Rhino's villain team.
That'd be incredible.
Bro, are we
That would rock.
kidding with this guy? He just doesn't count seasons where he does bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I'm gonna take anything he says seriously. Get out of here.
I think I'm just not gonna count my Cheddar Bear season, guys. I'm gonna wipe it from the
EXO
record.
Chev.
That's epic. That's epic. You were on the
I
team
watched
with
him
Cheddar.
lose mid lane to Ember Spirit as Sodafi, and I said, "This guy's a dog. He's never gonna be
Come
a threat."
on.
Dude, this guy's a
Stop
dog.
it.
That's hilarious. I made
nice.
grand finals in half my seasons, man.
Grand
Yeah,
finals in half my
listen.
seasons.
You proved me wrong. That's what I'm saying. I saw you on the Cheddar Bear stack, and I thought this guy's terrible. And
I was
look at you
terrible
now.
then. I think I was like
Chev
Crusader.
actually has a tent in the grand finals. You're the real tent player here.
Yeah,
Dude.
Rhino's tent is fake news, bro.
Bro, we're trying to get Rhino off mute so bad right now.
Yes, yes. The tent's still very real. Listen.
You
Listen,
missed both
listen,
of the
listen,
champ.
listen. It
Not
doesn't
just the
matter
champ,
what. It
man.
does not matter what league I play in. The league is only thing about me. I truly think that. That could be straight ego, but I guarantee if you just look at the teams, go through preseason content, this Rhino stack, this Rhino stack, this Rhino stack. It's like it's that I definitely invoke feelings in my competitors even before hitting the rift, and then in the rift, if I'm playing well, which I honestly played horrible last season, redeemed myself mini. If I play like mini, I think we should blow past Conk. I think John's gonna go past Conk, and whatever IPA has going on historically, I feel like pretty good against IPA. You know, I have Fatality too in my back pocket. No, it feels good. 10 is still very real though. I truly think I'm the scariest player, just mentally in Conk at least. Champ, you know, there's some other goats. You know, you have Blunted Goat, you have Jack's Goat. I guess you got to put Rusty up there now too, and then you have the MD2L clowns. You know, those are like
You
scary
got
players.
the best player blunted. Don't Google Rhino's team with blunted.
Listen. Don't Google that tiebreaker bullshit.
Losing
Don't
to
Google
Dr.
that.
Spike, the Dota Doctor.
He owned that guy's okay. If I'm being so serious before content, the only team I'm sort of worried about is Spike because I cannot beat that motherfucker on the Rift. If you look at all my games historically against Spike, I lost.
His drafts and his teams are good, man. That Innate guy
They're good.
That Innate guy's a cheater for sure.
Fucking Spike, man. It's fucking unreal. But yeah, it's like inside knowledge. I'm only really like worried about that team. If I had to take a team to be worried about.
You guys will beat the toxic cheaters. I believe in you. This season really feels like the end of an era for a lot of stacks for sure. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not coming back, but also, Savage seems to be splitting up for the foreseeable future with the looking for team posts, and they've been an old time org running. The breakup of IPA and Fatality, even though I'm sure it is, on good terms, no doubt, but there's a lot of like shifts, which is really cool to see because I think it's going to be a fun time to see old, like long standing players kind of like doing something different. So it should be very fun. Excited to watch.
Is that a sign off, Chev?
I don't know. No one else spoke, so maybe.
I don't have much else to say, man. It's been a fun season. It's been a fun ride with the MFTG boys.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. I really have fun hanging out with you guys on these nights podcasting. So it's gonna be sad for me to leave this behind for a little while as well. But maybe in the future, hopefully in the future. If not, I'm sure I'll stay in touch with you guys, and we'll shoot the shit here and there.
We still have our group chat for posting our degenerate sports betting parlays.
True.
We got Golf TI.
Golf PI, that's true.
Yeah, and a shout out and thank you to all the people that have came along for the journey and watched the pod. All 100 people that we do this for. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Damn straight. But
Shout
we learned
out.
a little something about Dota in addition to learning a little something about us.